Here we are again on today's 30-minute mechanic. We're going to see if we can get the turbo out and the front dress pulled away from the cylinder heads, maybe even get the heads pulled off of it. So buckle up, let's go. Okay, here we are once again. First thing I'm gonna do, I just spotted a 10 millimeter sitting right there, so we're gonna un-10 millimeter this bracket. It's holding our turbo. That is a really long bracket bolt. Now we're going to have to get this feed line off, the return line. We're going to unhook it from the pan down there. And well, there we go. Oh, crud. I don't believe it. It came out the front of the car. Okay. That part's done. Got to get our feed line off. Our return line loose down there from that AN fitting, and then we can, you know what? We unhook that crossover pipe. It's going to fall out of there. Well, let's find a blue socket. Where's the blue socket? Blue socket. There it is. Pick up a tool and set down the one I wanted. I don't know if I can get. I just need to use this tool. That V-band right there. That V-band is not super tight. Actually, I think the only thing holding this in place at the moment is the header flange is sitting on the head studs. That's kind of funny. Uh-oh. Wrench came apart. Let's see here. Let's get that nut off. Yikes. That was the... Okay. That would be our crossover pipe. Relaxing to the ground. A clamp. That clamp is really just a little bit too big. As evidenced by the fact that there's a little bit of leakage going on in it. This turbo kit, that one flange is kind of a weird size. And I've always had this one clamp that's a little too big. Maybe I need to just measure that and see if I can get one that's clamps down. Because it clamps down and then it clamps down and it's not super duper tight. Okay, that part's done. Let's see if we can get this feed line. I have no idea what size. That one's a half. That one's bigger. That's probably 9/16, which I thought I had one of those lying here. I do. Come on. Good gravy. The gravy is good. Okay, feed line is loose. And then we got to jump underneath. Jump underneath there and see if we can pop that return line off. The big crescent. This will take but a second, so I'm not going to move the camera. I am going to mop up some of the coolant that's down here. And of course, first shot out of the gun, I turned it the wrong way. Man, that is having an AN fitting right there on the return line is sure nice. All of my other turbo projects have just had a hose down here with a hose clamp, and they were never easy to deal with. Yikes, that still won't come off of there. We're almost there. How long can this take? That long. Okay, make sure we're not. Ugh. And of course, it's draining oil out. But I've got a rag here, so maybe it'll be okay. We'll let that drip. Really wasn't expecting there to be too much oil in that line. Guess I was wrong. Okay. Okay, while that is creating a new puddle on the floor, and while I'm throwing tools all about the shop, we're going to grab this pulley puller here. That is really pretty cool. If I remember how to work it. That is really a good question. Okay, I think I got it figured out. Really can't remember. There it goes. Whee! Okay. Pulley. Unpulleyed. Oh, brother. And then all the pieces uninstall themselves. All right. We got one bolt right there, I think, left on this dress. We're going to see if we can get it to come out of there. Oh, my word. Okay. Not with that tool, we're not. Bigger. Let's get us a bigger socket. Step up my game here. Nine 16ths. That one's 9/16 with a 1/2-inch drive. Let's go straight to the big dog. This is a crazy tool. It's got a 1/2-inch drive, 3/4-inch drive. It's got a hammer section. It's got a pointy alignment section on it. So, I mean, you can wreck pretty much anything you want to with this. There we go. So everything moved. me get one that's a little easier to work here. My dad gave me that tool one time, and I thought, what is this thing? Kind of thought it was a joke until I used it a few times. And I was like, man, that thing is awesome. Because you're always wanting to use a ratchet as a hammer. And so that one has a hammer built in. This thing's probably going to fall because it probably weighs 1,000,000 pounds. Okay, big bolt out. We are loose. And my hope is that will just sit right there. My other hope is that I can run this part of this wiring harness behind that deal. It's going to make me happier. This is my Okay, that part is off. And our turbo has drained out down there, I think. So that means that the only thing holding it in place really now is this rubber flange over here, which kind of has a death grip on that turbo outlet. Rubber. Come on. May have a hard time getting this off. Yikes. Indeed, there's my big screwdriver right there. Yeah. Ouch. Said yeah, but that was not working as this is about like trying to get a motorcycle tire off. Yeah. Almost there. Come on. And I hate jacking with motorcycle tires. Bingo, we're out. And I've got blue towels and tools everywhere. Okay. First, we better prepare a landing zone for this. Because it's not light. If we can wheel it. Come on. Come on. Yep. Turbo is out. Turbo and header are out. Hooray. Probably check those bolts on it while it's out. Oh yeah. Kind of vaporized my zip tie too. That was right there. You know how that works. There's probably one of those zip ties that didn't zip very well. Okay. The next thing we need to do is get the get that idler pulley off of there because there's a bolt behind it. And in order to do that, actually the idler pulley, I don't have to take the pulley off. I've got to take the bolt out of the center, which is the Torx. That's right. Thankfully, I have Torxes right here. That's not the right one. Must be this one. Yep. Grab the proper wrench. I've got to put some tools up. I'm getting stuff scattered everywhere. Come on. Yep. For some reason, Ford thought it was a good idea to hide a bolt. You know what? I think there's a bolt behind the... No, maybe there's not. It's under here. It's behind there. Behind a bolt behind the tensioner pulley. Which, I mean, really? Now, the more I thought about it yesterday, that driver's side valve cover had a little bit of white condensation under it. Now, I don't think, of course, I haven't drained the oil yet, but pulley's off. I don't think that it was, I don't think the oil's all milkshaked. I think that is just from condensation. Because it was only on that side over there. This side had one little spot, but it wasn't anywhere else. I mean, it wasn't down around the rockers, and when I took the intake off, it wasn't in the valley. So, I mean, not that it really matters, but I don't think that is. I don't think the oil is all gooked up, but I'll check the oil. I mean, not a big deal. Okay, next is a giant 9/16 here. The other bolt is where? Where'd it go? Is there only 2 bolts on this side? Maybe there is. No? There's one right. Oh, it's in a hole. It's recessed. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Another bolt into the box. Hope I can remember where all these go. Somewhere. Where is it? Can't see it. I could feel it. Is that not there? Well, of course, it's not the same size. It's not. Is it not 5? Okay, it's not. It's not 9/16. It's not 5/8. So it must be. Let's take this old stick over here. 11/16. And then I'll have one more right there, which is, I think, 9/16. This whole project was supposed to be, hey, let's bolt the turbo on this car. Yay! Nope. It's been, that's a pretty sizable bolt there. It hasn't been a, oh, I just hit my head on the camera. It hasn't been a bad project, but it certainly has not gone as fast as I really thought it would. I figured we'd, oh gosh, that is super tight. That's going to require 2 hands, maybe a glove. Keep that I figured, you know, it'd bolt on. I figured it'd bolt on with mostly no modifications, and that was definitely not the case. It did not. We had to modify quite a few things in order to get it to fit this SN95. Previously, it was on a Fox body, and uh-oh, what am I doing here? Let me get my wrench. Yeah, I can get it off. It was on a Fox body, and and honestly, it didn't fit that car super good. We had to do some, I had to move the alternator to the other side and, you know, a few other little things to make it work, but ultimately that wasn't a big deal. Okay. Maybe I can get my wrench out of it. Oh my gosh, I don't know what that was. And literally just dropped something down the crossover pot. You know what? That's a good spot for that. Something just fell in the crossover pot. I don't know what it was. It sounded like a zip tie. Don't ever forget that, because I'm going to have to get that out of there. All right, well, I guess there's no time like the present to see if we can bust off some of these bolts. Those back there, I'm probably not going to get the impact on. Some of these studs. Wonder if this thing will do it. What do you think? Look at that. One. Maybe. I'd like to get the washer off. There. Oh my word. If you've ever taken a car apart, motor apart, you know the smell I am smelling at this moment. The weirdo, burnt, kind of gross smell. There's another one. Oh, great, I dropped that one. Actually, let's go ahead and zip the nuts off, and then maybe we can get a magnet after the. I don't know what these torque to, but if this thing is busting them off that easy, they may not have been super tight. All right, those are out. The other thing is, I hope this thing will lift out over those studs. That may be trouble. And didn't want to come out, probably because of the weirdo angle that I was running my unit at here. No, that's not going to work. Come on. Yep. Okay. Feel like I probably just need to get the whole toolbox and just dump it on my table over here, because that's kind of what it's looking like. Oh, great. More coolant. leaking out. Oh, we just dropped my rag. Come on. Great. Kind of need my... You know, I jacked this car up. Oh, this has got a lot of water leaking. Why is there so much water still in this thing? I jacked it up so I wouldn't have to stand on my head, but I may have got a little too high. Come on. I was going the wrong direction. Come on. There we go. That one's off. Leaking more coolant. These don't seem super tight. Maybe I'm just used to... I mostly work on... Most of my other cars are big block Fords, and the head bolts torque to like 120 pound-feet or something like that. Just, it's a 9/16 bolt, so it takes a lot of torque, and so you really got to put the oompa on it to get them to do anything. I am laying tools down and I cannot find them. Oh. So maybe that's why these kind of feel, maybe that's why these feel like they're not so super tight. I am very anxious to see what this gasket looks like, and I wish that thing would slip on there. Come on. Well, dadgummit. I got to get a shorter socket. Really anxious to see what this gasket looks like. Come on. Yeah. Oop. Come on. Well, they painted these suckers after. Let's use our other ratchet. It's a little less cumbersome. They painted these after they put them in, and so there's paint on the threads all the way up. And that makes them hard to turn with your fingers. Okay. That would be the last one. Now, as I see a river of coolant sneaking out from under the car there. Well, think I'm going to be able to just pull it off, or is it going to run into the brake booster? Here goes nothing. Does it want to move? What's going on here? Here we go. I gotta refix the deal I'm standing on here. And they come off. And I didn't prepare a landing zone. Ew. That was a fail on my part. Okay. Head off. Push rods all over the place. Those are little shorty guys. I'm gonna have to crawl in there and get all those push rods out. Okay. Looking. Let's grab some paper towels. Do some soaky. Soak those up and bail them out. I mean, they seem to be holding coolant well, particularly number 7. 7's got a bunch in it. Look at that. Hello, 7. Gonna bail it out. I'm making a gigantic mess. Okay. Dry out number 8 there. Take a look. And we'll get the gasket off here in a second. Take a look at it. Now, one interesting thing I'm seeing here is actually I'll hold that thought. Velcro gasket. There's 7. I don't see any obvious signs of failure like you do sometimes. Sometimes the blown head gasket is pushed out. Like over here, it'd be pushed away. I don't see any of that. Come on, get off of there. Yep, I see it now. Right there. See that? The woolly spot right there? You can see it on the, right there to that water, to that jacket right there. Boop. No, my river is running out the other side over here. Great. Okay. Yep, stuck. No longer stuck right there. Yep. All right, we found our smoking gun, so to speak. Gosh, I can't believe there was that much coolant still hiding in there. Let me wipe my hands off good, and then I'll get you guys down in there, and I'll let you see too. Kind of what I'm looking at. All right, here we are. It probably doesn't show up on camera very good, but as you can, there's a spot right there where the gasket was stuck all the way around here, but it wasn't stuck right there, so it was leaking right there. I'll look at the head too. and see if maybe it was leaking on this side or the head side or both. And that stud right there's got rust on it, like maybe it had moisture leaking around it too. Maybe it just wasn't sealed good. I don't think these go into the water jacket on a Ford, do they? Yep, they do. Never mind. Probably just moisture coming up from the water jacket. Now, one thing maybe some of you sharp-eyed people have noticed is, look, E7 ZEs. Those are the forged factory Ford pistons. So we're gonna get our device of measurement, and we're gonna check the stroke on that number 7, and we're gonna see just exactly. We tried to measure it one time through the spark plug hole, and we thought it was 340 or whatever, 347, 340 or 325, something. Tried to measure it, and it seemed like it came out to be a 347, but since it has a factory Ford piston in it, that makes me a little skeptical. So let's measure. Dun, 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 dun. 3 inches, 302. Straight up 302. Man, okay. 302. That's a little disappointing, because we thought all along that it was a 347. Dang. So it's probably a regular stock crank, stock rod type deal. Well, now we know. And that's the rest of the story, I guess, as Paul Harvey would say. Probably most of you don't know who Paul Harvey is. Wonder where all my push rods are. All right. No sense crying over 302. Onward and upward. Let's see if we can get this other head off. And that'll be a good 30-minute mechanic getting all the heads off. Leave these. I was gonna not use the impact, but I think I will. I can get to a lot of these. The only problem is I don't have the right socket. Okay, now dude. Off. That one's loose. Oh my gosh, really? That one's loose. Off. That one's off. Oh, the whole stud came out on that one. That one's off. Come on. Come on. Come on, little buddy, get out of there. Oh, well. Next. And then they both come out. No, they didn't. What's going on here? That one's out. That one's out. Those are a little warm. Oh, now we're, uh-oh, I just dropped one. I dropped something. 1, 2, oh, it was the one that was in there. Dang it, where did that go? Great. Leaking more coolant. More nuts. Stud. Nut, washer. Okay. the big dude. I have no idea where that nut went. I just heard it. I didn't see it. 302. Yeah, that didn't come off with my fingers. Man, that one. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's Open the Floodgates 2.0. Gosh. You know what? Oh, brother. Okay. May have to abandon the shop for a week to let all this dry up. Yeah. Where's that washer at? There's a nut right there. It's the old 302 with 351 heads trick. Now I was always under the impression that 351s had bigger ports, bigger valves, and all that mess. But from what I've read, I have no idea what the casting number on these heads is yet, because it didn't look. From what I've read, the ports are basically the same, but the valves are bigger. So probably got bigger valves, bigger than 302, but the ports are the same. And the intake gaskets that were on it are just a standard old 302, 351 gasket. Looked up the part number last night. Some of this may get time lapsed. To keep these from being super long. Someday this nut is going to be... Oh no! Brother. Never gonna see that. I mean, that's like falling into the bottom of the ocean right there. Okay, here comes the second head. And I do have a landing zone over here for it to hit. So maybe I did retrieve all the push rods too. There was one all the way at the back of the car at the rear axle. Come on. Yeah. Yep. Whoops. You stand up. There we go. Okay, one didn't fall. Oh, there's another one. There's 6 more on the floor. That's okay. Because I have a magnet. All right. Time to sop up more stuff. Here's a bail out the Here's 2 push rods right there. Oh. Yay. That means there's only 4 on the floor. Here's a pro shop tip for you. If your wife's ever getting rid of like old sheets, grab them. Because you can use them in the shop. If you do stuff like this, they make really good dams. You can kind of roll them up and make a dam to keep fluids from just running all over the place. I'm going to bail these cylinders out. Number 4. What a mess. What a mess. So drop that down there. I see a push rod down there right now. Dry them out a little bit. I'm interested to know what head gasket these are. Let's see if I can find a number on them. You know, there's some Fel Pros that are reported to be better than others. And there's some that are reported to be terrible for boost. I'm not putting a Fel Pro back in. I forgot what is that called? Ultra Power. Yeah, whatever. Ultra Power. I don't know who makes it. That's what I put in my other car. And it worked really well. So I didn't have any problems with it, with boost in the other 302. Which incidentally has, I think it has cast pistons in it. These are forged. The TRW. This is the forged TRW piston. Now this is going to take some cleaning up. And I'm not probably going to show that on camera. Because nobody wants to watch me scrape gasket material. That is disgusting stuff right there. Let's throw that down there and let it soak up more stuff. We have a naked short block. Still retrieving push rods. Man, I hate antifreeze. You have to brake clean about a billion square inches of this engine bay to get the antifreeze residue off. All right, here we are. Really don't feel any ring ridge, which is good. These old 302 blocks, I mean, they get a bad rap, but I think they wear really well. And I don't know how many miles are on this particular thing or not. It's still got, looks like it's been honed. Probably honed, put fresh rings and pistons in it sometime. Somebody did. I put fresh rings in it. Pistons appear to be, I mean, that feels like, that's about as zero deck as they get, I think, right there. So, I'm going to get my light down here and look at 7. The top of 7, the top of the piston on 7 looks a little different than 8 or 6. Well, it actually kind of looks like 5 maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at the head and the piston and kind of see what's going on there. That doesn't looks a little different. It almost looks like the piston is smacked the top of the head. We may have to turn it over and see if our piston is in the hole or up high. Although the stroke measured exactly what it should have been on that hole. So probably nothing. It probably has more to do with it having coolant in it than anything. And trying to fire in the coolant. There's our casting. It's a DOOE. So that'd be a 1970 351. And they had bigger valves. Bigger valves than came in the 302. Let's see if we can turn this one. Cylinder 7 would be that guy right there. And amazingly, I can see way more on my camera than I can in real life. Doesn't look much different than that one. We'll eyeball. We'll get our table over here and set it up on the table, and we'll eyeball them real good later on. So, all right. That's going to do it for 30-minute mechanic today. Got the accessory drives off. Got the heads off. Got everything kind of dried out. Looks like it's definitely a 302. Measured the stroke with a caliper there, 3 inches on the nose. So kind of a bummer. We thought we had a 347 here, but the caliper don't lie, and those factory forged pistons don't lie. I'm glad it has the forged piston, so that's definitely a plus. Sometimes you tear into these and they don't have forged piston. They got a hyper or a cast piston in there that's been replaced. So anyways, be sure to check the description. Buzz on over to my friends' YouTube pages. Give them a like and subscribe, and check out some of the content that they've created. Just like me, they're just regular dudes just working on stuff. So like, subscribe, tell your friends, ring the bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye.